So hi everyone. I see a few familiar names, people who know me since some time, and a lot of new names. So thank you for joining in, everyone, today. And I hope this session helps you lay a very strong foundation, answers your queries on digital marketing, and sets way for our future webinars and a lot more conversations that we can have together regarding planning and in-depth strategy for you. So for those of you who had come in early, you all had seen a small screen right now where there was a true story, as I believe, mentioned about digital marketing. Because more often than not, we decide that karna hai digital marketing. Why? Because everybody is doing it, and you got to be present on all platforms. But we often forget to take a step back, plan, and do things. So here's where we are. We're going to be doing that together. And while I take you through some slides and some examples here, I want you to note a lot of points about your brand. Think through about what is relevant for you, and start making your own notes, which you can probably put up on questions as the webinar begins. You do not need to wait till the end to shoot questions. Please feel free to use the chat to ask any doubts as and when we progress through the slides. Okay. I'm just sharing my screen with you. Give me 1 second, please. Nishchay says, I can't hear the audio. Am I audible to others? Yeah, can someone please say yes or no on chat so that I'm sure? Better? Okay, cool. All right. So I'll try and hold my earphones here so that it's better. Great. Thank you. Okay. And I hope my screen is also visible. So like I just mentioned, today we are going to be kickstarting the digital marketing journey. Now, this doesn't mean that if you are someone who is already present on digital, that this is not relevant to you. This is absolutely relevant to you. We are just going to go a few steps back, think, and then start doing things. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Bijal Rao. I'm the founder of Brand Aesthetics. We are a digital marketing agency based in Mumbai, and we service clients across India and even international clients. To give you a little more insight about me, I have spent over 10 years in media with brands like Your Story, Economic Times, Bloomberg Fortune, and now moved on since 2018. And we are a small team of people who are trying to make the digital world a better place, where we're doing things across social media, paid ads, campaigns, digital marketing, creativity, and website and things like that. So we're a one-stop solution for all your digital requirements. And that's enough about me. I want to know a little bit about you too. So we're going to have a few polls, 2 in the start and 1 in the end. And this is only going to help us understand your mental framework better. So we're going to have a poll right now on the screen. Please answer that poll quickly. It will be live for 30 seconds. Disha, can you launch the poll, please? So which of the following categories would you fall under? And please read through and tick the one that's relevant to you. We'll keep it live for another 5-6 seconds so that we have maximum number of votes and we understand who is there in the audience with us. Okay, so we have the poll results with us, and 44% people, which is almost half, say that I'm a business owner with an established online or offline business, which is 1 year, more than a year old. Okay, okay. And then we have marketing professionals and a mix of influencers and startup founders. Okay, so we're assuming that most people are into the business since some time. All right. And this is another poll, which is the second one. And I promise the next one is right at the end. So we'll have poll 2, please, Disha. Okay. Which stage of digital marketing journey are you at? Very, very important for me to understand so that I can start tweaking the slides that are to come accordingly. Okay. There we can close the poll. Okay. So we have a lot of people saying I'm present on some platforms, but I'm not very active. The next bunch is saying that I just want to learn more about digital marketing. Okay, we're all at the right place. Good mix of people who are not absolutely extremely active, and this is the best time to go back and think and plan your strategy well. So I love the saying, and I think Albert Einstein said it, if I'm not mistaken, that if I had 100 hours to do a job, I would spend the first 99 sharpening my axe. So we're going to spend some time together sharpening our axe and then go all out and crack that digital marketing for your brand. Yeah, cool. So let us begin. Okay, so this is the digital marketing landscape. We have social media, landing page conversions, data mining, AdWords, CRM, Google Analytics. Usually digital becomes equal to social, but digital is way beyond that. Even if you have an automation that you do for your website, that is also a part of digital marketing, because you are trying to uh, connect with your customer in some way to make them a repeat customer or something. So out of this entire gamut, uh, I often get a question that where should I be and what should do, and I'm really confused on what is relevant for me. So we're going to dive and simplify this basis a few things that we must keep in mind before we start out to do anything, or we're doing anything, continue to do anything forward. Okay, I want you all to ignore the left part of the screen for now. I'm going to take you through, there's no point reading that. We want to start with why. And as Simon Sinek also says in his book, that in the golden circle, at the heart of everything is why. Why are you in your business is a big question, right? And when we say, I want to make the digital marketing, simpler and better and more profit making for startups and SMBs. That's my why, probably. But why are you in business? Similarly, you need to ascertain why are you there on digital platforms, and why are you there on this particular digital platform? Why do you want to get online? Like a lot of you all said, my business is offline. I am a business owner with a year plus of experience. But now, why did you feel the need to go online? Yeah. And largely, when you say why, you will bucket your answers into branding and awareness and selling. So this will be two primary reasons, that I want my brand out and to be known by more people. And the other thing is I'm here to sell my products and make the money out there, do things. So let us decode branding a little bit. It could be about your company. It could be promoting your company culture. It could be recruiting. It could be speaking of policies. It could be speaking of company as a brand. It could be a product or a service branding that is there, and you selling your service out there, and talking about the features, making people aware about your product or service, and why you exist, and what is your business all about. And the third is personal branding, where you're an influencer or you're the CEO of a company and you're out there to brand yourselves. You're out there to make people know you and become a bigger brand. This will be largely, the three buckets that are there. And we speak of selling. So we're clearly doing a transaction here. We're selling a product or a service. We're reaching out to more prospects, building a sales funnel. We're keeping in touch with fans and existing customers to resell customer service, to get them by the second time, and all of that to have a higher recall. But that also becomes a part of the sales journey, because you want a customer to become your repeat customer and then your advocate at the end of the day. So think of why do you want to be on the digital platform, and we need to divide this in two ways, in short term and long term. So you might say that I want to sell right now. Looking at the current situation, my only objective is that I need to be able to activate my digital marketing channels and sell something so that I get the money, I get my business on track. Fair enough. So a short-term objective, which could be 3 to 6 months down the line, could be your as selling or even brand building, depending on what business you're in. And long-term would be that, say for instance, I deal a lot with family-owned businesses, business owners, and startups. And my long-term objective is that if anybody searches for a branding or digital marketing agency, they should come to know about brand aesthetics. I should be able to reach out to people in such a way that if somebody is even offline giving referrals to other people, they should know that brand aesthetics is the company to be, at least in my target segment that is there. And that could be my long-term objective. I cannot achieve it in 3 or 6 months. So I could have maybe a 1 year, 2 year plan for that. So let's divide our objectives in short term and long term, and figure out what do we have to do next. Once you're sure on your why, on why do you want to be here, what do you want to do, we will move on to other stages to identify more specifics about your digital marketing journey. Okay, now that we know our why, and why do we want to be on Facebook or Instagram, it matters who we're talking to, because your choice of platform will hugely be dependent on who you're talking to. And when you say who, it's your customer, your prospect. And there is a very good way to kind of, there's a good way to break up who you're targeting. For the first thing is geographic. If you're a local business, you know that you have to target people in and around your area. If you are an online business, then you could be shipping in India or you could be shipping worldwide. If you're an influencer, then you still know that I am okay with people knowing me in this segment and this, this kind of regions and all of that. So geographic is very simple, straightforward. You'll know who your audience is. So please note that down on your pen and paper and say, who am I reaching out to? I know I want to reach out to all companies in Mumbai first, then I'll go to Pune, and then I'll go to Nashik or wherever. So that is your geography. The other one is demographic. I need to know the age of the people who I want to reach out to and the gender. You could be someone whose services can be applicable across age and genders. That is okay. If you're a B2B customer, you might feel that, okay, age and gender doesn't matter, but who is that decision maker for you in that company? The age and gender of that person will also matter. If you're looking at IT function heads, more often than not, they will be men. If you're looking at moms or parents, if you're selling something for kids, it will be moms who will be taking a decision. So you will have some clarity even if you're a B2B company. So if someone would ask me a few months back, who is your customer? I would say everybody is my customer. But can everybody really become my customer? Today, we've identified a sweet spot saying that we work with family-owned businesses. We work with second-generation entrepreneurs who want to digitize their businesses. Now, there I'm talking about a demographic profile of someone whose age I know, someone whose profile I know by a virtue of gender or education level and things like that. The next thing is behavior. Behavior is how your audience behaves. Do they travel frequently? Do they purchase a lot online? Are they fond of watching movies as well? And are they, also consuming allied services? So behavior is about, how your audience would behave digitally. Where would they go? What would they do? With what kind of videos will they consume? If your audience is students, they'll be there on YouTube. They'll be there on education websites. They'll be there on Snapchat. So you will be able to identify by their behavior and possible behavior. And the last is psychographic, where it's about liking. So here you're trying to build a model of a person who is your ideal customer. And you can say that someone who maybe advertises or on in print is a good client for me. Someone who is also buying toys for their child is a good client for me if I'm selling other baby products. Someone who goes to the gym regularly and follows fitness blogs is a good target audience for me, because that person will buy my gym membership. So, or will buy my protein shakes or something. So you need to be able to find out their liking, their behavior, their gender, age, as much as possible to find a prototype. And with this, we can then finally figure out what platform you should be in. This is a segmentation of platforms, some platforms by age. There are a lot of such studies by gender. You can just Google and you will be able to figure out this. Now, if you look at this on Facebook, there are more number of people who are 55 plus compared to an Instagram. While this number 9 may look small, the audience is very, very huge. And this 27 also becomes a huge number. So you know that if you have a brand which is for the elderly, you need not target an Instagram or a Snapchat very, very clearly here. If you're looking at people who are working professionals, you know, of course, LinkedIn is there, but you would also find them on, say, a Pinterest or on a Twitter. Clearly, Pinterest has more women audience, a 76% women audience, which is not mentioned here. So by researching a little more about each platform individually, you will be able to understand where is your audience exactly. And then you bucket your choice of platforms and you note them aside. What we are going to do is we're going to divide that later on with the help of our why, and say that, okay, I need to be on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I don't need to do anything else, no LinkedIn, no Snapchat. But why? And what will I do here? And how will I do things? So we move on to our next slides where we have a deeper understanding of all of this. But the most important thing is to understand where your audience is. Okay. Now, we know who are we talking to, but we do not know what will we talk to them about. Are you just going to put up your product or your service and say that, okay, I'm selling this, and you buy? Do you think people buy because you're selling? They will not buy. You have to give them reasons to buy. And this is why we publish testimonials. We try and build their credibility. We try and influence them, do a lot of influencer marketing, a lot of things. But before all of that and figuring out what I want to tell them, I need to understand my true brand personality. I need to know what am I. And basis that, we can then decide how we want to communicate to people, so that my true character and my true brand personality reflects in all that we have to communicate. There will be a message on chat that will be a link to the brand personality quiz that is there, which lies on our website. You do not need to go through this right now. If you can copy paste, or anyways, we're going to send everything to you in an email later on. You can probably access it then. But this is a small quiz which will help you assess what is your true brand personality. And I'll skip the other 2 points for now and come back. And I want to take you through this brand personality wheel. We call it the brand archetype. And you look at the outer ring at this moment. How to read this is very, very important. So when you take the quiz on our website, you will be able to understand where do you fall. Now let's take an example. Let's start from the right hand side, where we have sage and explorer and innocent. Pawns is innocent. Are you being able to relate to the personality of these brands? A University of Cambridge is a sage, who promotes learning and freedom. Yeah, there is Lego and Apple, which is a creator. Do these brands give birth to creators? No wonder why all designers will use Macintosh, and people who love design will use iPad and iPhones, and Lego helps you create such wonderful structures. Mercedes is a ruler and it shows control, correct? There is KFC, which is everyman. It's for everyone. So these are various personality types, basis of which you should be able to decide how will you position your content. Every single piece of post that you put out should have this in mind, that I am a creator, my brand is a creator, or I am a ruler. This is how everything will be positioned. And then you can decide whichever platform you want to be on. But for to do everything and to create that mark in, in the minds of your consumers, you need to be able to be true to yourself. And this is how we are. So for example, when I did our personality test for brand aesthetics, which is until recently, and we came out as Sage. So where we promote learning, and we're doing all the webinars and everything that we do, things that we put out on social media correspond to that. So you can take this quiz later on. It's going to take you 5-7 minutes to do that. And you should be able to figure out what your true brand archetype or personality is. You can read up a little more about this if you want, but this quiz should do the needful for you. And basis of the true brand personality that you have, you can decide your brand communication, whether it's a format that you need to decide or the tone of voice. If I am a sage, I am educating people, I am advocating learning, I cannot be selling my products unnecessarily. I will have to come out as someone who educates, empowers people. I will have to promote case studies. I will have to give industry examples. Similarly, you will be able to define what formats will you be able to choose to be true to your personality as well as connect with that audience, whether you're selling or you're doing awareness. And the third thing is, what do you want to talk about? This links directly with your objective. You want to talk about your product, services, company, or self. And depending on the type of your business, all of this will matter. And we will now go down to a more detailed version. Probably this is what a lot of people ask me in the webinars and when I meet them personally, on how do we actually go about. You've understood your audience, you've understood first why you're here. Now you know your audience, that okay, let's imagine I am a brand who's selling baby food, and I want to reach out to mothers, mothers who are just who have just conceived, and and they have children up to 3 years, and I have range of baby products that I can sell to them. And I also have an understanding of what am I over here. So I probably resonate with a Dove or Pond's or something which is innocent or caregiver, yeah, over here. So I am in that segment. So now I have my background ready. Now what to do? What is the next step for me? And I will switch the screen and I will take you to an Excel sheet that I've made where there is some information about each channel, and we have divided it as per your objective, which could be branding, it could be sales, it could be customer service. And we're going to spend some more time on each of these platforms trying to understand how each of these can be used for these three purposes. And this should ideally help you understand and pave way for which platform should you choose and what should you do there. Yeah. And of course, we'll have the formats and other things covered there, and organic and paid is something that we'll come to later on also while we're there. So I'm going to stop sharing the screen for a bit right now. Okay, so here we are. Please don't read through this. I do not like when we have a lot of things written on the page, but I couldn't help but putting things out here. But I will take you through this. So we are at 4:30 right now. We will have this for another 15 minutes. We'll spend 15 minutes here and then we break for questions. So let's start with our favorite Facebook, and we'll figure out what do people do on Facebook exactly. If you're brand building or you're selling or you want customer service and engagement, there are various ways in which you can use Facebook. A is you post images, you post GIFs, you post videos, customer stories, there are case studies, you speak about your company culture, what kind of a company it is. You won't imagine that people, when they come to work at your company, they do a fair amount of research on how, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on what kind of things happen. Do you celebrate festivals? Do you not do, things like that? And it really matters. There is Facebook Live that you can do to create good brand awareness. You can tie up with people who have a good Facebook fan page and do influencer marketing. Facebook groups are very, very interesting. In my last webinar, I had touched upon groups where I had mentioned that let's not sell on groups. Let's not post a requirement on group. Let's try and engage with people, build a community who we can speak to. and engage with those possible customers and prospects. And that's what we can do when we're talking of Facebook there with respect to brand building. When you're selling on Facebook, there is Facebook Marketplace, which was launched a while back. Recently, there's Facebook Shops, which is across Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, where you don't need to have a website. You can directly sell through the page. And that is what we can use. You can also list your services and you can list your products there on Facebook. And there are paid ads. I would just like to spend a minute on paid ads. There are two. If you're a page admin, you'll see that you get an option of boosting a post there. But if paid ads are done very, very well, you will be able to reach out to people who, with a lot of details. So, like I said, if I'm a brand who's selling baby products and I have a woman who's just about conceived a baby, so they put up on their timeline or they change their status and they say that, we have a baby who's born or I've just gotten married or whatever. So these life stages are put up. I can know if people are traveling internationally or they are traveling nationally too much, what kind of other brands they are liking, what kind of other pages they are liking here, and then plan a proper campaign on Facebook which shows your products to the right audience. You need to do this well. Otherwise, no platform will perform. So you need to spend a lot of time figuring out the platform itself. It's great for customer service and engagement where the messenger can have some auto pop-ups and messages. If someone puts up a message on your Facebook, it says, hello, how can we help you? Reach out to us, we're away, and things like that. Customer reviews are great over there and people do take a lot of them seriously. Contests are there. We can run a lot of contests. You can put out offers, and Facebook can be used for end-to-end customer management as well, where you're trying to retain existing customers and build the loyalty over there, running some offers and things like that. So that's on customer service for Facebook. Let's go to Instagram. Now, Instagram and Facebook, as you all are aware, Instagram has been acquired by Facebook, and now WhatsApp has also been acquired by Facebook. They are two different platforms, work a little differently. However, the targeting capabilities are quite similar on both the platforms. But if you look at Instagram, people will not follow content which is too serious. They will speak more of self-love, learning, awareness, something that is funny, a lot of how-to videos, a lot of makeup tutorials. So you need to identify your customers over here. If you already have an Instagram account, you need to go to the insights section and understand which is what is the demographic of your audience who's already connected to you, and then maybe talk accordingly. You can put short videos there, quick videos. You can have IGTV videos which are longer than a minute there. There could be customer stories. You can have the option of customers tagging you. There could be a lot of giveaways that you can run, Insta lives that you can do very, very easily and nicely. Influencer marketing is huge, and blue tick is what all influencers aim for. For blue tick, you need to have some things about you published on the, or whether you're a company or you're an individual, there should be some digital PR that needs to be done. Or if you're already a well-known person, and if I search say Bijal Rao, and what appears on the Google page is maybe if someone's mentioned me in news, or there have been mentions in some other offline or online papers or magazines, then I am a person who's already established and a personality or a company which is very, very well known. And then the blue tick becomes very, very easy to get. So that's for Instagram. On the brand building side, there's a lot more that you can do on Insta, and the list is endless. There is a beautiful Insta shop that is there, which lets people buy. There is the new shop feature that I just spoke about. There is link in bio. Now on Insta, unlike Facebook, we cannot put links to all the images. So there will be links. There will be only one link that will be there in your bio. And one person clicks on that, either he goes to your website or somewhere else. But there are other third-party platforms which create a clone of your Instagram profile, and they call it link in bio. And when someone clicks on that, it opens up another feed which is like your Instagram feed, but that every single image is connected to a link. And that is how you can redirect people to your blogs also, and more stories also, if you don't want to just sell directly there. So the link in bio is very interesting. Paid ads are very, very interesting. And there's huge conversion ratio for Instagram. It is excellent for customer support. There are many story features, there are questions, filters. Every day they're releasing many more features, and you can just try this out. There are various trending formats that come, and they get adapted on Instagram, as the first thing. So you should be able to look at features when you go to story and start exploring. You can actually keep your customers engaged. Another important thing that I want to highlight over here is that Instagram and Facebook is not understood. Instagram and Facebook doesn't understand that your audience likes you without them having to engage with you, which is why this section of customer engagement becomes extremely important. If I don't like your page, and sorry, if I'm already liking your page, but I don't like your post regularly, or I don't comment on that, Instagram, Facebook, and now LinkedIn thinks that I'm not interested, and which is why it will not show me your posts often. So what do we do here? We pay a lot of attention to the customer service and engagement part, where we try and roll out things where people are commenting, asking for questions, so that they stay engaged, they stay connected. And then Instagram understands, okay, this person's interested in this page, and let me show more of its posts. Otherwise, you start getting down on the ranking for that person. And that's sadly going to happen on LinkedIn as well now. But what they feel is that you like a lot of pages, but if you don't engage with any page, which means that you're no longer interested, but you've not unfollowed them either. So make sure that your customers are engaging with you. That's the most important part. You may post less, but engagement is even more important than likes. Let them comment. We move on to Twitter. Twitter is another ball game completely. I plead guilty. There are a lot of times also we post the same things for our clients on Facebook and Instagram if they do not allow us to create a different Twitter strategy. But Twitter is all about being in the moment. There are a lot of things, hashtags that are trending. Now we'll have lockdown 4 extension and 5 extension and all of that that is trending. If you can come up with that, it's brilliant way of connecting with your audience and making some brand credibility out there. Twitter trending, you can actually have a Twitter trending campaign. If you're launching, you can actually get your unique hashtag trending for that day or for that hour, because a day is too long and it will have a decay. The hashtag will decay, but for those 1 hour or 30 minutes, you can actually have your Twitter hashtag trending by having a lot of people tweet at the same time. And that's what even influencers do. Sponsored tweets and new launches are something that Twitter can be used for. But this is especially very interesting if you're an individual. If you're a CEO of a company, or you're a professional who's trying to brand themselves, connect with your peers, connect with your industry here, write to them, comment on their tweets, retweet it. It's a fabulous medium. And this is one thread that is common between Twitter and LinkedIn, where if you're an individual, you can do much better than a company profile that is there. For selling, Twitter really doesn't help you sell. It helps you announce things like events and launches, and can help you gather that kind of eyeballs for that event. It is brilliant for customer relationship management and online reputation management. How many of us have resorted to Twitter when we have to complain about Zomato or Swiggy or any other brand, or if Make My Trip is not refunding your money or whatever it is? So I used to find myself ranting on Twitter, and that's about it, and used to feel that, okay, I'm just complaining on Twitter, I'm not using this platform very well. But to your surprise, when you put it up on Twitter, people actually take you seriously, and the customer team responds very quickly, and there's a resolution very quickly. So this is a brilliant platform to see what people are talking to you about. In agencies, we use various tools of social listening, where we come to know who is talking about your brand and what is the sentiment. There is a sentiment analysis that we do and figure out that in what tone has it being being spoken about. So a lot of things can be done with the help of Twitter here. But it's a great one for influencers and CEOs. The next one up over here is LinkedIn. LinkedIn, again, good for thought leadership. You have articles, blogs, infographics, customer stories, branded stories, culture, company culture, very importantly, that you can put out here. You do not need to always like everybody's post on LinkedIn. You can put up a comment there, use a relevant hashtag there. You can put up a small blog, share some content that you like, put up original content. Nobody is looking at some knowledge that they've not heard of ever. You can put out original, authentic point of views here and connect with your prospects. For B2B companies, LinkedIn is brilliant, even by not selling through emails and sales navigator and recruiter ads and feed ads, you can still reach out. So organically for LinkedIn, it's a brilliant platform for B2B in order to generate leads and influencers to stand out there and make their brand bigger. Also, there can be a lot of engagement with prospects and clients, but we do not look at LinkedIn necessarily in that way. We can obviously stay in touch with prospects there and build a pipeline, but on the customer engagement front, it is a little low. The next up is Pinterest, and Pinterest is pretty straightforward. You have pins, you have boards, and there are paid ads that you can use to boost your pins over there. You cannot use it much for a customer engagement, but this is especially useful for people who are into art, people who are into design, people who want to showcase their work, and that's how you can use Pinterest very, very well. SEO for your website, you need to be able to do blogs, some posts with backlinks. And what I mean by backlinks is that if you're posting somewhere on say maybe a third-party platform, you need to be able to link it back to another blog that you've done there. And for SEO, we use various mediums, like third-party platforms. Even LinkedIn is great. Contributor platforms are great. Quora is good. So SEO is not a platform, but SEO is basically something that you will look at doing, and you can do it using all these things to brand yourselves. You can look at keyword ranking and link building, optimizing your page content with the keywords that your competition shows up for. And you don't need to be an SEO expert to do that. You look at digital marketing agencies in Mumbai, and if I see 5 agencies that are coming up over there, I need to use this keyword more often in my blogs or on my page to be able to appear in the first page of Google. And the moment you start creating more blogs and adding more keywords there which are relevant to you, it's going to become easier to rank on the website. But you need to have some patience here. This is going to be a 3 to 6 months long strategy. And anybody who tells you that we're going to up your ranks in 1 month, you need to be a little more aware, because SEO is not paid, it's completely organic, and Google changes their algorithms every now and then. So you do not know what you're coping up with actually. The next one we have is blogs and contribution. We covered a bit of that in SEO, third-party platforms, Quora, Reddit, your own website, which is great. Paid ads across platforms, sponsored blogs. A lot of this happens. A lot of bigger brands also do this. When I was in Economic Times, I was in this division which was especially focused on paid content. And we used to engage, it's not an ad that is there, but it's more of a series of articles, blogs, some campaigns that are being done, some contests that are there, some big celebrities that are taken on board to be able to drive the brand communication. And you can use case studies, reports, white paper downloads, everything else on third-party platforms to collect data. So if someone's downloading your white paper on say, or a report that you've published on a platform, they have to enter the details and then they can download it. Or like I just did a webinar and you guys signed up for it, so you then come in my database and things like that. And for customer relationship management, blogs are a great way. You go to any website, for example, if you're on Zoom and I need to know how I mute all participants, I go to the knowledge base and I look for it first on, and some kind of self-help. So blogs are a great way to have your customers aware about things, more details on features of your services and products. And you could do it in the form of FAQ section, videos, blogs, many text blogs, many other ways. But it's a good way to maintain relationship with your customer and give them the knowledge that they want about your product or service. YouTube. YouTube's fabulous. You see a successful brand, when you see them having a YouTube channel, and when we access the Google Analytics of those brands, we understand that a lot of good traffic, 10 to 15%, 20% comes from YouTube. And what sells there is basically how-to videos, educational videos, lives, explainer videos, your own videos if you are a thought leader, launch videos, product tutorials, unboxing videos, many more things. So go all out on YouTube and put up the videos. Please do not invest in fancy cameras. Your phones are great, your laptop is great to shoot these videos. YouTube gives us advertising options like pre-roll ads and banner ads, and there are certain website pages that you can link them back to using these ads, or certain campaigns which are maybe app download campaigns that you can run there. But all of this largely is available on YouTube, and it's not expensive. So people might think that it's very expensive, but it's not. Now everybody has figured an entry level investment also, so you can experiment with YouTube. Again, on the customer servicing part of it, you can have product videos, customer stories, tutorials, how to navigate through Zoom or any other app that you're using, or if your service is, maybe you are a one-on-one person, you're dealing with your customers directly, you can still have a little more information if possible. Otherwise, largely it's going to be brand building, awareness, and paid ads that are there. PPC and Google ads. So Google ads are of 2 to 3 different types. One is search ads, where I search for something and I start seeing it. The other is display ads, and display ads is where I'm at a blog, and I'm reading content, and a similar kind of an ad shows up. So like we took an example of a maybe food product company. They might want to put up their Google display ads on all mom and parenting related blogs. This is how they can do it. And search ads, maybe someone is searching for the safest baby food available in Mumbai online or whatever. So someone can you can use Google search ads. Great for selling, great ROI, little more expensive than Facebook and Instagram, but the intent is very clear here, and the person is looking for it, and which is why the search ads are a little expensive. However, display ads are not expensive, but they are great, come at very good pricing. You can also promote your product, service, events if you want registrations directly. You want people to download the app, that is possible. You see a lot of ads in Gmail. You see a lot of ads that are there on your Play Store, that is there. So you can use it. And yeah, for customer service, we don't use Google ads much. Display ads, when I say display ads, I mean it on third-party publishers like Times of India, Economic Times, Bloomberg, wherever I've worked, or these could be other blogs that are there, or any other third-party newspaper sites, or some music blog or travel blog or wherever. We can speak of product, service, brand launches. You see a lot of ads that pop up, which are a little irritating, which are maybe some realty company speaking about a new product that they have, or maybe OnePlus launching another phone or whatever. So we can have these kind of things that are there. We can also brand companies using customer stories and brand campaigns. A lot of trials, discount offers can be done through display ads on various publishers. And this is a very big market. A lot of investment goes here. And if you look at how much digital, the digital marketing chunk that is there, and so a lot of it comprises of display ads on publishers, and now publishers have evolved and they've started to do video ads and many other formats that are there. So display ads it is. If you want a larger reach and more noise and more awareness, then display ads it is. Native ads. When I say native ads, I mean there are platforms like Outbrain and Taboola, and what they help you do is whenever you're reading, say, news on Times of India, they will put up an ad in between. So headlines for today, and beech mein achanak there will be an ad saying, Rustam ji launched a new project, or Godrej launched a new project. So that ad is a text ad. It might have small thumbnail if that is possible there, but it is a text ad, which is again a cost per click ad, just like Google that is there. If someone clicks on it, only then you pay for that, and that goes to your website or wherever it is. So this is also in content branding and advertising, where someone is actually paying attention and reading. So you have a larger recall and a larger attention span there. And this also works well for if you want a greater reach, plus want a PPC campaign on publishers. You can have offers, sales, discounts, trials, everything that is there. You can also promote your brand simply there. But this is more on the paid part and the sales part that we would say. Emailers, absolutely free. Amazingly useful. You can share a lot of updates, knowledge. You can let people know about your events that you're hosting, and we can continue to put up offers, try and upsell, maybe manage the customer relationship through emailers that are there regularly, in-cart reminders. If someone's left something in your cart, you need an automated message after a while saying that, hey, it's still there, I'm giving you a 10% off. Great way for customer service management by virtue of surveys, feedback, certain updates, certain progresses, new things that you're doing, can be spoken about in emailers. So this is great, effective, so long as it doesn't go in spam. And next up we have is WhatsApp marketing and announcements. You will see that as soon as you buy from a channel, they start to send you messages on WhatsApp now instead of SMSs. So post-purchase, pre-purchase FAQs, everything is quite suitable, and it can be done very, very easily on WhatsApp. We also have offers, promotions, announcements, and updates that can be done through WhatsApp marketing or SMS marketing if you're running offers and all. But it would be largely transactional or knowledge-based or FAQ-based that you can use this. And yeah, we have a few here, and we're going to just wrap it up quickly. Another 2 minutes, please. Website. So your website can have blogs, case studies, free tools that you can use, like we're redirecting you to our free tool that is there, customer review stories. And you could have a lot of, you can sell through pop-ups that come up, certain offers that you want to give. There are announcement bars that are there. So your website can actually generate a lot of inquiries for you, provided you engage the customers. There are a lot of chatbots. There is FAQ section, there is WhatsApp chat that you can have there, so that people are actually able to communicate with you. Nowadays, if you go to shopping websites, they have AI-based chatbots who actually understand things. Even if you're complaining on Zomato or you're complaining anywhere else, they'll first put you across a chatbot and then put you across a customer service agent. So that is how chatbots are useful, and they're amazing. They come with a great deal of learning about the industry through machine learning, and not that expensive also to implement. Digital PR, whether you're a company or a CEO, you can speak about CSR, company launches, announcements, updates. And this is, when I say digital PR, it's about putting this communication across multiple platforms, various publishers through way of PR. You could speak of launches where you're actually selling something in a PR, call a press launch, and do it. And digital PR is also good for SOS. So when you had Maggie, which started to have issues, and everybody suddenly started throwing out all Maggie packets out of the home, digital PR was actually used very, very effectively to create that kind of image again, where you kind of revive. So when you say customer service, digital PR is used in situations like these where you actually paint the town red with your brand's name and say that, hey, this is where my brand is, and I'm back again, and this is what we're doing in a very positive way. And the last one up is affiliate marketing, where you tie up with a website or individuals to sell your brands directly. It is direct sales, more reach, more awareness, because you're tying up with many, many more people. And the list is endless, but we thought, these 15 odd will be good enough to discuss right now. We will be sharing this sheet as well, for sure, with you. Please feel free to customize this. But before you go here, please ensure that you know your audience. Then you will not waste time picking out the right platform. I'm going to take us back to our PPT. Yeah. And we have spoken about these three things: communication channels, various formats that you can use, organic and paid. And before we break for questions, there is one last poll where I need your answers to understand which areas do you want to learn in detail, and this will help us pave way for the next webinars. So Disha, if you can have the poll, please. Thank you. Okay, we'll give it 2-3 seconds more. Yeah, the more the answers, the better we are. So we have 48% of people telling me that they need to know more on social media marketing and paid and organic. So we can do one exclusive for social media marketing, and we can understand there's also some interest in SEO and influencer marketing. So we'll see what we can club those two and also do one session there. SEO is a big deal, and if you want to implement it yourself, you need to know the platform technically, and you need to be technically sound. But social media definitely is something that we'll take up next. And I'll break for questions right now. I'll just check the chat. Okay. So Nirav asked me if new shop features are only for US Insta accounts. Uh, Nirav, they're releasing it slowly across the globe, and we should be able to see that soon if we already haven't. But it's a worldwide update, and for Insta, we should be able to see that. Gunjan says, I'm selling kids clothing online, 2 years and above, and we're there in Facebook, but don't know what sort of content to promote on the page. So, Gunjan, to answer your question, if you are selling uh, kids wear and you're also, and mothers are your obvious target audiences, you need to be able to create content that mothers would like to know, whether it's, and it could be different entirely. It need not be about clothing, it could be about motherhood, it could be about things that mothers should do to maintain their sanity. When kids start growing and they start to get into preschools, and you need to start producing blogs and content topics that will interest mothers. Maybe create a community of your own and start discussing there. Have certain mom influencers there, and uh, make a lot of noise there, a lot of good content there, which is not about selling your brand. Because if you sell directly, you become a commodity. If you connect with their purpose of motherhood, uh, sales won't be a problem for you. So Solomon asked me, is this pandemic an advantage to digital marketers to earn money? Uh, it doesn't look like it right now, but it definitely will be in the future, because people have realized that they can work virtually. They can do a lot of things virtually rather than physically. A lot of formats will start changing. Because of this, we've also lost, the industries across have lost money, but they've also come to realize what overheads can be eliminated completely and what channels can be adopted, which are digital. So we'll definitely have more work in the future to come. Nishray asked me, has Pinterest been underutilized in the Indian market? How can brands use it more efficiently? Nishray, yes, definitely Pinterest has been underutilized. But the reason for it also is its application and with what kind of brands does it connect. Not everybody can be there on Pinterest. Not everybody can share. So the platform itself is very, very niche. But Indian brands do not advertise much. They do not put a lot of money there. And how can brands use it more efficiently? That will depend on the brand, and it can be used efficiently to build that awareness, or it is beautiful for a thought leader or an influencer to build their own brand there. But it's more aesthetic, so it depends on the brand. Ganesh asked me a very relevant question that I think we deal with every day. How do we differentiate with the competition while doing digital marketing? I am into B2B business. Ganesh, even in B2B, sometimes the services or the products are commodities, and there is very less chance of making it a very differentiated offering because it's not glamorous many times. So knowing your why and knowing your true brand personality and sticking to that will make people have a clear understanding of what Ganesha's company is always talking about. What are they doing differently from their competition? Maybe if you want to analyze how your competition is speaking, what is the tone of voice, and straight true to your personality. It's not about differentiating from competition, it's about having that mark in a consumer's mind. Are you doing that often, and are you doing it right? And if you're able to consistently maintain the communication that you have across all channels with your customers and your prospects, you will definitely emerge as a brand with higher recall value if your products are more of a commodity and general products. So Nishant asked me that once we post on these platforms, how do you know if people have liked or are interested in your services? Guys, I'll take 5 more minutes. We'll close in 5. I think there are a few questions. I'll take 2 more after Nishant's. Once we post on these platforms, how do you know if people have liked or are interested in your services? Once you post, you will not be able to know which person is, but there is something, you need to be able to post and take them back to your website, engage them in some way, and you know that this person is probably liking all my posts, and there needs to be a team who's assisting you to understand that if Abhijal likes all your posts, or at least out of 10 she likes 5, I am higher on the prospect ranking than someone else who seldom likes it. So you need to be able to start building a funnel like this on your own. And if you're sending an email, who's opening your email regularly? There are various analytics on MailChimp and other platforms that you can use. If you're spending, then you could use remarketing ads very well to bring those customers back to your website. But by just posting, you will not know who's liked. You will have to engage them or take them back to your website to be able to capture them as a lead. Nirav says, from which platform we can create display ads and native ads? Nirav, you need to talk to me. We'll do that for you. And there is no one platform that is available. If you search, there will be many platforms that will be available which will let you publish. But you need some intelligence before, market intelligence before just putting things out there, because platforms could be many, but where you should be and what should be the communication will actually matter. So we can speak. Datta says, any tips on regularly creating content? Datta, content needs to be created very regularly, and you, like I said, when you know your true brand personality, you'll know what to speak about. It's about experimenting with different formats, experimenting at different timings, experimenting on different days, and understanding how each audience is performing and responding differently on every platform. You need to use a mix of engagement. You need to use a mix of brand awareness and sales, and this will actually help you understand what your customers are reacting to more. Make a calendar for June and note down an objective, saying that I will do these 20 posts in June, and this is my end objective that I want. And if that person, and you need to see if the objective was actually met, and then you score your post saying that this did very well and this didn't do well. And please don't measure it only in terms of likes, please measure it in terms of reach also and comments also. So you'll know what works for you better, and then you can optimize and learn always. Great, guys. So thank you so much. And it was a pleasure having you all. If there are any questions that you have, please feel free to mail me one-on-one. I'm always available for a chat. And please connect with me on LinkedIn. My ID is Bijal Rao. Yeah, thank you so much.